Alrighty, guys. Sorry about any scratchiness on the mic. Yeah, I'm doing this super ghetto. I don't really want to put too much into this. I'm just using the mic that came with my iPhone or iPad, whatever you want to say. So you'll hear it brush up against my stubble every once in a while and cause some scratchiness. I wanted to share with you some Mr. Fantastic gameplay inside the Abyss of Legends. My intent with him was to use him for Cable to reverse Cable's regen. Since I didn't want to rake up a void for this fight, Mr. Fantastic is what I have. And, he does a pretty good job. Not as good as Void, but, he's got a lot of other things going for him, too. He's got some crazier damage that he can stack up with his debuffs and whatnot. So my original intent with Yellow Jacket was to go in with Nick Fury and just do the Nick Fury thing since he's stun immune, and once Yellow Jacket hits his special 2 phase, Nick Fury could just go to town and actually start doing combos instead of dancing around the special 1, not finishing combos and all that. That strategy, like really the build up to it wasn't that great because Nick Fury lost all his damage from the combo ending light attack, building up to the special 2, and it didn't seem all that great. And I thought, hey, if Mr. Fantastic has some abilities for this fight that might be pretty interesting. So I thought, with the power reduction he gets from his pre-fight ability, combined with the Pacify Mastery, Yellowjack's going to be getting 96% reduced power. And I was like, let's give it a try. So I spec'd into the Petrify Mastery, and this is what came of it. So here we're going to go ahead and drop on all of Mr. Fantastic's pre-fight abilities. They all do various things. The main thing here with Yellow Jacket is the suppression field, which is going to reduce his defensive power rate by 22% per debuff. This increases based on the rarity of Mr. Fantastic. I think with a 6-star, it's 25%. Which, God, I wish I had a 6-star after doing this. Now, when stacking these debuffs, Yellow Jacket is going to have a 66% reduced defensive power rate. And I thought, if I pair this with the Petrify Mastery and the Proficiencies tree, I can reduce Yellow Jacket's defensive power rate by up to 96%. And this will go ahead and allow me to parry heavy all the way to a special 3 using Mr. Fantastic's other abilities, namely his signature ability, to increase his power rate by 100%. And this is what came of it. It seems like a pretty viable strategy. You'll see at the beginning of this video, Yellow Jacket was at like 1.75 million health or something like that. And at the end of the video, he's at like 90k health. So it's close to a 1.7 million health with about 40% health taken off of Mr. Fantastic. So I way overhealed for this fight. I guess better safe than sorry, although, maybe. I was pretty on my game today, so. What else do I want to talk about here? Now, Mr. Fantastic, with his signature ability, based on signature level, he gains the increased power rate per crossfight ability, which is the passive 1 and 2 you see up there. This one is max sig, so he's gaining like 100% more power from his attacks, which allows him to build up to special 3s pretty quick. You'll see that most of my attacks are within the passive Fury phase, which is granting Mr. Fantastic 460 attack rating per debuff on the opponent when the special 3 is activated. Now, I have the Resonate Mastery, which, isn't always going to be on him, but that's an extra 460 attack, reduced attack rating on Yellow Jacket, and it pairs up really well for him. I also have the, what's it called? It's the other attack rating, Inequity, which I have maxed out here, and it's going to reduce Yellow Jacket's attack rating by 36% of his base with the amount of debuffs I have on him. So I'm able to parry Yellow Jacket and even take some blocked hits that just don't do a whole lot of damage because of all the attack rating reduction he has on him. This makes Mr. Fantastic super sustainable. But anyways, now that I've gone off on that tangent, let's get back to the debuffs. Now, Mr. Fantastic, when he parries the opponent before launching a special 3, and his crossfight abilities counting as 3 debuffs for Mr. Fantastic's other abilities, Mr. Fantastic is stacking like 460 attack times like 16 and up to 17 with the if the resonate weakness is applied, which lasts for 20 seconds, I believe. This allows Mr. Fantastic to heavy Yellow Jacket for some pretty ridiculous numbers. You'll see right there 22k. Normal kick, it's what, something in the 7,000 range. Which is pretty significant for the Abyss, given the number, given the fights are limited by the number of hits you do. You want to kind of maximize your damage. Per hit to be item efficient, I guess, or revive efficient. So, he ended up working pretty well. Now, these do make for some really long fights, which, not everybody's going to be into. This fight, I think, was a total of 17 minutes, which, yeah, that's pretty dang long. It would have been a lot faster, going with Aegon, probably. But, I don't know, I found it fun. And this is pretty much the fight. Mr. Fantastic has built up previously, which the footage I lost, unfortunately. My iPad, the storage on it filled up, and I wasn't thinking clearly, and I deleted every video off my iPad in error, trying to free up space, which stunk. I lost all sorts of footage. And the build-up and a previous fight using the strategy on Yellow Jacket. But, this is pretty much it. This is Mr. Fantastic kicking the crap out of Yellow Jacket. 1.7 million, I think that's pretty good for, one fight. Go ahead and skip to the end here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and clip out the remaining fight because nobody wants to watch this. I'll catch up with you at the end. Okay, so here we are at the end. Yellow Jacket is about to hit his phase where he will spam special 1s until he gets to a special 2. And once he hits that special 2, he'll put a passive power sting on you that'll stun you after 45 seconds and end the fight. I could have played this better. I let all my debuffs fall off, which was a bad move, I guess. It's going to reduce Mr. Fantastic's damage. I hadn't really planned this far, and if I was planning a little bit better, I probably could have finished off the fight. Like, I have enough HP here where I could have, lost a special or something and taken the power sting damage. A couple power stings probably to keep those debuffs going. Mr. Fantastic is going to finish this fight. And leave Yellow Jacket at 90k health, which allows pretty much anyone to just come in and mop him up. Now, I want to say Mr. Fantastic did hinder Doom in the Abyss. I wasn't thinking about it, but Doom was my plan for Thor Ragnarok, and Doom armor breaks with Mr. Fantastic on the team, and Thor Ragnarok gains a power flood with that armor break, which wasn't such a good time. I ended up having to just revive Aegon and go after Thor, which was pretty bad.